Back here this Thursday afternoon, May 25th, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern time. Welcome on back, of course, this time of the day for our afternoon meeting. We have class on ahead. Let's get a quick sound check just to begin. Make sure that we are good to go for Elizabeth, for Mike, and for all of us just joining us here right now inside our live trading room. Kathleen included, laid loud and clear from her. Got all of us just here joining us now. So if you're on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works, well, first and foremost, just go right to our YouTube channel, folks. Make sure that you are subscribed right to youtube.com/cybertradingyou. If you're there now, perfect. But make sure that you're subscribed so you can go right to our shorts page right here. You have the videos, you have our live streams, of course, that we always host each and every day. Actually, with that, Fausto was just on NASDAQ Trade Talks with Jill Malandrino. So we actually posted that just a moment ago as well under one of our most recent videos. But where I'm getting to, go right to our shorts here. You're going to see a little update on the video. We talked about this last night. I ended up coming back to my desk and we ended up going over in a video on our YouTube channel, just the levels to anticipate for today, for this morning and the market open, right? We talked about a couple of different prices there. We talked about 365, 366 as the first big support. And then from there, 350. Well, hey, we have this WLDS. We'll get to this in just a moment. Well, what do you know? Ended up dropping right down perfectly, head-on collision to 366, really as smooth as can be. Ended up just bouncing right off of there. Big volume level from the after hours on NVIDIA yesterday. I mean, hey, for a stock to make a 30% or 26% pop it was in the after hours, you got to figure resistance is going to create support at some point today. So it's just a matter of finding where the big levels are first. So, hey, if you're on our YouTube channel, just make sure that you are subscribed. If you're not there now, go there and subscribe just so you know when we're going live, when we're posting these videos and shorts and you name it. So for the afternoon, hey, NVIDIA pulling back right now. Obviously, we're not trading the stock. You could at least buy puts and calls on this. And, looking for the bounce at 365, that would have been a really nice return heading into the mid to late morning. But otherwise now, heading into the close, I mean, hey, this is pulling back. Actually, as we're talking right now live, the S&P, the SPY here making a bit of a head fake and pulling back itself. Hey, I don't mind at least just going through right now from top to bottom here and seeing what else we could work with here just really quick. So let's start with this WLDS. Ended up making a big pop from earlier today. Big shout out to one of our students, Scott, who had called this one out at first. Really nice call out at the time. And I said it is tradable. Give it a shot if you feel like it can make the push up higher. I was already invested in a couple of different trades, figuratively and literally, perhaps there too, but ended up missing this huge pop. Ended up completely ripping from like 90 cents when Scott had called it out all the way. I doubled up in price. Who would have thought? Even heading into 10:30, 11 o'clock time where we would expect reversals, this thing just kept pushing. So a couple of big shout outs here. Warren ended up getting like 51 cents on this trade. He killed it. Really nice catch from him. Steve jumped in also from 91 cents. He wrote that earlier in the chat board, 9:49 Eastern time he wrote. You got out at 117, I think he wrote there. John in and out from 115. Beautiful. So, hey, a few of us did really well on this trade. Now for the afternoon at least, what goes up comes back down, especially a cheap small cap stock like this. We saw it just yesterday on GCT, didn't we? We saw it today on BMR, didn't we? Ended up coiling up, right back down. Ended up actually pulling back down. I thought it was going to try and test down towards like 390-ish, previous all-time high there. The stock was breaking all-time highs early this morning, folks. I mean, this is just goes to show the lack of historical data here. So this came out as an IPO back from March, 394, 396, the all-time high. I was looking for that bounce here at this point, but just once it kind of reversed back up, I moved away from it. Hey, nice little push. So for the afternoon, I like the trend now. It's pushing back on up pretty nicely. It does have, well, I'll say it has a bit of a spread. Yeah, definitely a big spread here for this stock. That said, though, I mean, probably more of a level 3 trade at least, if not more so a 4. So I'll put this on our list for any of our more experienced, consistently profitable students. And we'll see if there's anything more liquid, maybe something that we could all get our hands on coming up here. Well, not as liquid, but definitely good stock for the afternoon. LEDS, this is a known pop and drop stock at least. So, for any of our students from a couple of years back, Lita, Kathleen, a bunch of us, Phil, Grant, Michael, that have been with us over the years. This stock, I just remember being a huge pump and dump play, like over and over. Looks like back from 21, perhaps you could begin with. Maybe that was when it was an IPO as well. We'll take a look. Nope. There we go. So this was just the squeeze it had here back in 21 from 5 up to 30 back down. And that could have even been before a reverse stock split. So this thing fell all the way back down. Another squeeze up again today. If it makes the fraction of a squeeze that it did back in 2021, I think that would be a huge win. It's up big already today. So maybe there could be more room to go on this trade. Let's just keep seeing higher lows. But when the volume peaks and then drastically kind of dissipates back down, then that's pretty much when you know the squeeze is over with. TISI, just chopping it right now at this stage. We'll pass on from that. Again, folks, keep in mind, phase 2 course coming up later on at 3 o'clock Eastern. That's why I'm going through kind of quick. I want to make sure that we have enough time to join the class, be good to go. Go back to NVIDIA there. Ended up just pulling back. What was the other one I thought I was on just a moment ago? Though there was one I just kind of clicked on. It was like squeezing up pretty damn nicely there for a second. Was it NVDL? Did my dyslexia trip me up there? That's the NVIDIA ETF. All right, maybe I skipped over something there that may have looked good. I don't know. I thought I caught something a moment ago that was trending up. I'm just kind of looking at my scanner here, quickly going through. Obviously, with NVIDIA up, well, we have, and AMD, the whole semiconductor sector is just up with NVIDIA earnings, but SOXL is the semiconductor ETF. So this could be worth watching. Just, I would rather you use level 4 if you're going to look to trade this. Otherwise, I would focus on a stock. NTNX, ZUO. All right. So really, I mean, as far as the gainer side, I'm sure there's up or some stocks up a little bit more percentage wise here. IFBD was a big loser in pre-market this morning, let alone after the open, but more in pre-market. You just knew that with the trend, it was more than likely going to make lower highs. So I turned back to the stock heading into like the late morning. So all the way down to 130. Pretty happy that I moved on from it quick. All right. Let's see if there's anything looking as good, if not better. I mean, we got 2 stocks on the main list, both kind of like level 3 plus, I'd say, perhaps level 4 at least. This one's moving around a bit here. APPS pulling back down pretty hard, roughly off of 860, 855-ish. Not much on the bid as far as a clear support level. Not much filled here from the matrix that shows a clear support as well. Yeah, we got to see something build, maybe like an 825-ish past little chart resistance here, broke from, so that could be support. And the more times it tests it as support, it should break it. So in that case, that would lead to a new short trade heading into the close. So apps, I don't mind slipping on our list, just tradable stock, down big. I don't know if it's off earnings or what, but obviously took a huge hit here this morning. Snowflake here. What else we got? We got Path. Ended up dropping down big early this morning, but it's just going sideways now. There's no trade there. American Eagle, what went up yesterday came back down today, is it? Scott says BMR moving up again. Yeah, that one's already on our list at least. That was still looking pretty strong going into the 2:30 meeting when we kind of came back to it. So, it makes the cut for right now. Dan says, I listen to Fausto live, always worth listening. I always pick up something new, learning from Fausto's thoughts, and I appreciate that, Dan. And yeah, Fausto will look to do that, I think, monthly pretty much now, or maybe bi-monthly. He's a regular on NASDAQ's program there. All right, what do you got for me here, folks? Up, down, left, right, you name it. Let me know. Go to Benzinga Pro here just to see if there's anything from my side. Otherwise, we talked about BMR. We talked about LEDS. We got the apps trade from the loser side there. Jeez, is this really it? I mean, we'll take a look at the AI trade. Obviously, we were calling that out earlier. All from the morning, we were looking for a bounce on this trade. First from 27.85, then from 27.50. Got it from 27.50 just now. But, yeah, I mean, it's not like making the greatest move, but we don't really have a big list. We know it's tradable, so it doesn't hurt us to put this on our main watch list for right now. Definitely not EPLD, at least for the time being. I'm going to scrap that for sure. SOUN, BBAI. How about Palantir? Palantir has been pretty good to us. So off the break off of 1264 there. So a beautiful move. Oh, really? Actually, that's just a line ahead of my chart. That was actually a larger level from the morning, but it was recently off of 1257. We were looking for the break back over 1257 here, 282,000 share print. So it had a couple of false breaks, but then led to the pop heading into like 1 o'clock, 1:30 time. And yeah, I mean, you know what? I don't mind adding both AI and Palantir, both familiar names, very volatile in a good way. Liquid, right? So yeah, I don't mind those two. All right, so that makes 5 in total, folks. We don't need to build up a big list. I know most of us are going to be with me in class, extremely important class lined up ahead this afternoon, setting stops and taking profits. So I've been in countless coaching sessions the last 2-3 weeks talking to students where, whether mechanically or, maybe psychologically, it's just you have a tough time just like, let's set that stop. Let's make sure we know where to set that stop. And on top of that, once you're out of the proverbial doghouse and the stock is running really well and you're deep in the money, well, where the hell do you get out? So where do you take the profit? That is the exact class we're going to cover coming up, folks. Setting stops, taking profits. We'll do that coming up at 3:05 Eastern time. There we go, Rich. Very timely with that link there. All right, so for all of us in social, hey, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, the works. I appreciate you sticking with me each and every day, each and every afternoon. You had Fausto tagging back in for the morning meeting, but you'll get me back, I think, for tomorrow. So with that in mind, just any questions that you have, feel free to shoot me over a quick email. Josh@ctutrading.com is always the handle. And then otherwise, if you wanted to join us inside our live trading room, just go right down to the link on the green banner below, just on the social stream right there. And once more, for John, for Scott, for David, for Mike, for Elizabeth, for Kathleen, Leda, Mike, and all of us just here, be on the lookout. Tomorrow, check your emails. We got a big announcement lined up. And if you're on social media, at least on our YouTube channel, make sure that you are subscribed. You'll also get that alert through YouTube on top. But again, that is for tomorrow, not today. We got class coming up, folks, for today. So I look forward to talking to everyone coming up here pretty shortly. Take care.